Brad, squad-wise, I don't think we'll see the squad till tomorrow. Could you give us an idea of any potential changes for Sunday?
Now we come out of that game healthy. Bentos is back this week, so yeah, he trained well today. Yeah, so we'll look to get him back into the bench rotation.
How easy is a team to select at the moment for you?
Yeah, look, it's been hard every week, really, but that's what I get paid to do, and I'm grateful that for in particular the staff that they've given us me that headache of having a lot of blokes to choose from. But then I'm also grateful to the players that they're playing well each week, which puts pressure on each other and that healthy competition, which I've continually talked about. And I think that the teams that are going well and that at the top are the teams they've got a good healthy roster, but the competition for spots.
And what are you saying to those guys on the periphery at the moment?
Well, they have no control over team selection. There's only one person that has control over team selection. That's me. What they have control over is their response, what they do about it, how they train, how they carry themselves, and then any opportunity they do get to play in reserves, what they do there. So, because you just don't know what's around the corner, and you get an injury, and if you're not doing the right things at training, or you're not, you haven't got the right team mentality, well, then it could work against you when I sit down to look at a replacement. If they're not doing the right things, well, and they haven't been part of the team and they've been kicking stones, well, certainly won't be putting them back in the team.
Just on the subject of injuries, there are a lot of teams in Super League who have multiple injuries. Are you doing something that they're not, or can it just be something like fortune?
Look, don't know. I don't know what other teams are doing. I just know we've worked hard, but I'm sure every team's worked hard. There's a fair bit of luck to do with it, but then there's also a fair bit of good management. So I don't want to take the shine or the gloss off the staff at the moment, the job they've done. But we're only halfway through the season. I think what's going to matter is when we get to the end of the season, how healthy we are. But yeah, there's a fair bit of a luck element, but also the staff need credit, and the players need credit for working hard to get themselves in a position where they got that more resilience that we've been chasing.
Yeah, we shouldn't tempt fate and talk about injuries. Just while we're talking about players, you had six players named in the England performance squad this week. Could you and should you have had a seventh, do you think, in Jake Connor?
Oh, look, I have control over what team gets selected here. I don't have any control over the England squad. Jake's been one of our most consistent players. He's worked really hard. He's trained really well. He doesn't have any control over the team. Me and him have had a brief conversation about it. The only thing that he can do is continue to. It's the same as team selection here at Clubland. Like play well, train well, and you just don't know what might happen. It's a long way away. And if he continues to play well, he might force their hand. But at the moment, he's more than comfortable doing his job for us, and he knows where he stands in this team and this group, and that's all he can focus on. Whether he should be or shouldn't be in the squad, like that's got nothing to do with me. That's I don't want to be one to be making comments on that. I don't pick the team, and I don't know the reasons around team selection.
But just looking at the quotes from Sean Wayne, I think he suggested it's something to do with consistency. If you're saying that Jake's one of your more consistent players, well, that's not an issue that you've got with Jake Connor.
All I can do is comment on in my opinion, and my opinion of how he's playing for us, and I've been very happy with his consistency. I think he's had one game, where I thought he was a bit off, and that was against Saints, a fortnight ago. Outside of that, all these games that he's played for us, there's been periods in the game where he could have done things, bits and pieces down better, or he's drifted in and out at times. But it's hard to be on top for a full 80 minutes, and that's what he's learning to do. But I think on the weekend was a really good example of how he stayed in control, and he managed the team really well. You got to remember he's playing a new role for us as well. Like he's playing with the seven on his back. It's not something that he's had a lot of experience or practice doing. So, and I think there's been good general signs of improvement. We're focused on a lot on around his effort areas, and he's getting better.
What about this game on Sunday then? What sort of shape do you feel you're in going into this game, which has been described as probably the toughest challenge in Super League at the moment away to Hull KR?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Our performance on the weekend, we found another different way to win, so we've found all different ways to win, whether we're in front by a big margin and getting run down and having to hang on, or we've had to come from behind. We've had to grind out a first half. That one was we score, you score type mentality, and sometimes they're the hardest ones to play in. So we're finding and learning how to win. We're enjoying that part of it as well. But we face another beast, another different challenge this week, and feel like we've done a good job last time we played them and we got ourselves in a winnable position, but then we just lacked a little bit of belief and control at the back end of the game. So hopefully we can be still swinging at the 70-minute mark, and we've learnt from our errors that we made against them last time.
It's probably fair to say both sides have improved since then. What is the main challenge that you're going to face on Sunday?
I think they start really well. And we can focus on how good they are, and we've got the utmost respect for how good a team they are. But probably the biggest challenge is making sure that we're good. And if we can walk away from there and we've put in a performance where we're really happy with it, then we'll be able to get a real good indication of where we sit and where we're at, whether depending on how the result goes. But we're only going to know and learn more about ourselves if we give ourselves the best opportunity and the best account of us, and that's what we're chasing, like the best version of what we can do.
The 4 points ahead of Wigan, you're 8 points behind Hull KR. Do you still feel that they're catchable?
Oh, haven't even worried about that, James. What all we're worried about is, can we go to out there this weekend and play a good solid 80 minutes, be in it at the 70th minute, and see if we can't come away with a win.
Just lastly from me, we haven't spoken about you, have we, for a couple of weeks? So just on the back of what Ian Blease said this week, Brad, he said he's 6.5 out of 10 confident that you're going to stay, which is a great way of putting it.
Oh,
Would you be willing to rate it out of 10 at the moment?
Look, James, the thing for me, nothing has changed. Like, it's, what, I'm confused. I don't know. I'm really enjoying my job. Like, I love it here. I love working with this group, the club. I miss home. I miss my two boys. So, like, it's a lifestyle thing. It's just one day it's good, the next day, like, I want to be around them. So I don't know. I know everyone wants answers, but I don't have any to give, unfortunately. And I'm just enjoying every day that I'm here, and my wife and daughter really enjoy it here. So the players keep playing well. It certainly makes it harder to walk away, doesn't it?
You mentioned Ventos as back. Did he have a bit of illness?
Yeah, he's just cooked, mate. He's just a bit run down, and like it. You want to try and have your best players out there all the time, but I feel like where we're at as a squad, sometimes that opens up another avenue for someone else to get an opportunity.
Yeah. Someone we've not asked you about for a long time because he's out for the season is Micah Sevo. I just wondered how he's getting on. Is he still here? I've not seen him around. Is he still here and rehabbing, or?
Yeah, no, he's still rehabbing, but we let him go home for a month, and we've got some good contacts who are looking after him at the moment, because when he comes back, he's going to have a lot of training in front of him, and when the other guys are off on a break getting ready for next year, unfortunately for Micah, he's going to have to train right through. So, we just give him a bit of time away with his family, and he's not far away from returning, but he's tracking really well, really well.
Yeah. Is he doing anything with Parramatta or anything like that back home? Or
Well, obviously, you know that, do you, Pete?
I don't know. I was just guessing.
Well, look, we've got someone there looking after him, mate. Yeah, just making sure that they're on top of him and he's still getting his treatment. But he's not training with Parramatta, no.
No. I've just seen Joe Diskin as been dual reg with London this for this week. Can you just give us a word on what you hope he'll get out?
Good opportunity to get some experience playing against, just trying to get the guys playing against men. And he's going to get probably 40 to 60 minutes. With Acker's back in reserve grade, it just sort of limits This goes opportunities. So where we can try and get them more footy because they're training really well, a lot of these young guys. But I've said it before, the only way they get experience or get any better is by giving them experience, and they can't do it at training. They have to do it on the field.
Is he someone you think has got potential to
I
push
like
on
what he
through?
does. He's only young and he's only a kid and he's learning. And Chev and the club has done really well with a lot of those kids. And the training, the experience they're getting from training, like on our main day today against the Super League team, you can see him getting better from that and gaining some experience, gaining some confidence.
Is he's it's an unusual combination. He can play fullback or hooker.
Yeah, he can play anywhere. He can, I think he wants to have a crack and prefers to play hooker. But, look, very, very unusual to be able to throw a hooker to fullback, isn't it, at times? So, his preference is hooker, but it also helps him maybe with his intro into Super League at whatever stage it is, being able to play a few roles and maybe he could fill a 14 spot later on.